racists want to march into our offices. This is it's not a playground here. It's a revolutionary house. That's why I told John Steinesen that you're a small boy. The EFF is not ANC. Let John try those things he has been doing of marching to ANC offices. He must come and try it here. Let one day when he's bored, try that nonsense he has been doing everywhere. Come and try it. We don't care whether even that day you would have rented black people to march with the DA. As long as you are wearing a DA t-shirt to the EFF office that day in a disrespectful manner, you will know what the EFF is. Let him try it. He must bring that one with a wrinkled Botox face with him when they come here. We'll teach them. Yeah, it's not a place where we're scared of a white man here. Yeah. It's the only liberated zone in South Africa. Yeah. No white man comes taking chances here. Those ones who came earlier, they must thank their God. They must try it again.
The ANC Youth League President Julius Malema yesterday held a series of media interviews in the wake of a debate over his personal assets. Newspapers reported that he was director of several companies that had won over 100 million rand in government contracts. Julius is here in the studio this morning to talk about this. Julius, good morning to you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us. First, I think you've seen the Sowetan. Silomoloto says you bully mayors in Limpopo into giving you contracts and the company that you are a shareholder in. Is that how you do business?
No, Silomoloto is a loser. He's a disgruntled fellow who lost power.
Yeah.
And he thinks I was responsible for that. Of course, I played a leading role removing him from the ANC because he was just a political non-starter who was parachuted into the structures of the ANC. And having convinced the structures of the ANC, I removed him from power with other comrades. The question the journalist should be asking him, if he was bullying mayors and municipal managers, you were the premier, what did you do to deal with Julius Malema? Not only the premier, he was the chairperson of the ANC.
Yeah, but
he could have reined me in or taken action against me.
But is that how you do business? Is that how you get contracts?
I'm not doing any business. I'm doing politics. My business is politics. So I'm not in any way going to bully people to give anybody a tender. We stand opposed to that type of business activity where politicians give directive to bid committees on who should get a tender without even following the procedures of how a tender is awarded.
It would seem from this conversation that people suggest that you are the power broker in Limpopo. You run Limpopo from Joburg or from the ANC Youth League head offices. Is that actually what is happening?
I'm very close to the premier of Limpopo. We've worked together throughout my political life, and he's an elder to me. But we relate in such a way that you can't even notice seniority, because we approach issues in a comrade spirit. I will never run the province under that man. He's a difficult man, but yet very humble. He expresses himself honestly, and the things he doesn't want, he tells you straight. He's not a premier because he's a Julius Malema's friend. He has earned it. He operated with Peter Mukaba. He's one comrade with good credentials, and he has been to prison. Is well qualified to lead that province. So there is no favor the premier is receiving from me, or there is any favor I receive from him. I've been fighting with him on many occasions on how he approaches certain issues in the province, like I do with all premiers and ministers.
But go back a little bit.
And there are people who have wronged the ANC in that province. And he has still found a way of accommodating them. And if I was controlling him, some of these chaps, the way they are so useless, I was not going to tolerate them.
Go back a little bit. You say you removed Silomoloto.
No, we were in the forefront. I was the provincial secretary of the ANC Youth League.
So the current premier had to get your endorsement.
No, he got the endorsement of the ANC Youth League.
Not Julius's personal endorsement.
By virtue of being a former Youth League. Castle Matali belongs to the Young Lions generation. He operated with Peter Mokaba very closely, and we knew that through Castle Matali, we are reaffirming the Peter Mokaba generation.
Talk about your shareholding in this engineering company.
Yes.
You're an active director there. You may have told your lawyer to have your name removed, but it wasn't removed. You are still an active director there.
No, I've given an instruction in 2008 that I should be removed from all companies as a director. And we got an information that I was activated to be a director of SGL Pty when it was converted from CC to Pty in 2009. And without my consent. I've not signed anything. And even this lawyer is on record. He showed one of the television station that this man has never signed anything. And therefore,
on behalf of this company?
No, for me to accept being director when it was converted into PT1. So we've since instructed him to do some form of investigation with regard to that.
But do you receive dividends from this company?
I've never received any money from any company.
Not even a single cent from this SGL
Nothing.
company?
I remain poor before you here this morning.
Yeah. You don't receive at all?
Nothing.
Yeah.
If I had received, I would say I received through my directorship. There was nothing wrong. I'm entitled to do business. I'm protected by the constitution of this country. And you, the protectors of the constitution, must protect all of us to continue benefiting from the rights provided to us by the constitution.
Yeah, but you drive an E63. That's what you said.
No,
C63.
Yes.
But you can't say you are poor if you own a C63.
No, I'm very poor compared to those who owns the means of production.
Yeah.
The economy of this country, the commanding heights of the economy of this country are still in the hands of the white males. So compared to them, I'm nothing. I'm just a drop in an ocean.
Yeah, but for you, in your personal capacity...
I'm a man who lives through a salary.
Yeah.
Yes, if that makes you rich, then it's something else. It means you're also rich here for you.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your salary?
No, I can't talk about my salary. I'm going to be fired after this interview.
If you talk about
Matthew Posa has made us sign a contract that you don't disclose the amount I pay you. But what I can tell you is that...
But it said 20,000 in some publications.
That is extremely wrong compared to what I'm getting. From the provincial secretary of the Youth League. When I was elected the provincial secretary of the Youth League, I bought a house in Polokwane. And then when I...
You bought it cash?
No, I got a bond from a leading bank in South Africa. All my houses have got a bond. And then when I became president with an increased salary, I bought a house again here.
In Saxon World?
In Sandton. So I've been investing my money where it matters most, not in alcohol and ladies, like many other responsible young people do.
You are paying bonds on these properties?
I'm paying bonds. These houses are they've been financed by banks. I'm paying bonds every month. I'm taking home nothing because of this investment I've made.
There's also an assertion that you own a 250,000 rand watch. Is that correct?
I'm not going to. The accessories, I mean, how do you know if that thing was given to me during my birthday? You see me with a nice watch, which I don't even know the amount myself. And you conclude that this is a 250,000 watch. But also, what if that watch is Chinese, Hong Kong, that we bought on the street? That conclusion is very wrong, without even wanting to verify the facts. But is it not
proper to then say, no, this watch is not 250,000?
I'm not going to do that, because if I do that, I'm going to subject the African children and youth to serious harassment by youth, I mean by the media. If the media can harass me, what type of a belt are you wearing? Let's see the socks. Let's see the watch. Well, how much is this tie? It means any African diamond which is shining is going to be called when it passes by. Come here. How much are you worth with your clothes? But it cannot be. That is a harassment at the highest level. And I'm not going to allow the media to do that.
At the level of engagement, because in many instances, you talk on behalf of ordinary people. And the kind of extravagance that now from reports you are being associated with seems to undermine your credibility talking on behalf of ordinary people.
I represent the poor. And I'm elected by the poor because I come from a poor background. And
but you've made it good.
And let me tell you, no, my living conditions have changed. from being a poor young man from Zone 1, from a single mother who was a domestic worker, to be where I am.
Yeah.
My conditions have changed, and I'm not ashamed of that.
Okay.
Because it is through these conditions that I will inspire many young people that it is possible under the ANC government
And
for a
this
person
is-
to change
this is
from
not
a
because of-
poor family into a better condition. I'm not in a luxurious position. The what I have and what has been projected in the media is over-exaggerated.
This is not because of bullying. This is not
I've
because
never
of
this
intimidation.
is through my salary in a dignified way. Let me tell you, I mean, one thing that I learned from the whole exercise of this media report and all that, I saw a tendency which seeked to intimidate the youth from participating in business. And because of this type of exercise I've come to experience, I realized that through me, these people will take many young people out of business. And I've got a responsibility
but
now
you are not in business.
to enter business. I'm going to be entering business now.
You are going into business
Yes.
now.
Given these developments, I must lead the youth even in business to show them that there is nothing wrong with the youth participating in business. And because they wanted to ridicule my role in business and wanted to project me as this corrupt person, because a young person cannot be successful without being corrupt. We need to go in there and play an active role.
The USA is not interested in diplomacy. The USA is interested in dominance over us by any means necessary. And we must stand up and fight for ourselves because we represent a historical mission. And that mission is the return of the land. Whether Donald Trump's like it or not, we are going to fight for the return of the land in South Africa. Where was the USA when our mothers were fed to pigs in Limpopo by white farmers? Where was the USA with its sanctions when Eugene Terreblanche was raping young boys on his farm before they resisted and killed the racists because no one will act against him? Where were the sanctions of America when a child was shot by a farmer in the Northern Cape for picking a flower on his farm? And we were told that this child was mistaken for a monkey. Where was the international community when the racists at the University of Free State fed our mothers who were domestic workers human waste? Why were our people who were stuffed into a coffin alive in Mpumalanga not offered refugee status in America? What does the USA have to say about the murderers of Flag Plus who roam our society today freely and have never accounted for their crimes? Where is the International Criminal Court to prosecute Voter Basson, Dr. Death, who used chemical warfare and medicine to poison and kill anti-apartheid activists? How can we be expected to reconcile with those who have never acknowledged these crimes and were never held accountable for them? How can we be asked to share our land, our resources, and our future with those who still believe that Orania and Volksstadt are their birthright in Africa, while the mass graves of our people are ignored? These are the people who have never appreciated with how they came to enjoy their wealth and power. People who still see us as servants, as laborers, as conquered people. People who did not even consider themselves Africans until it became convenient to do so, to claim indigenous to our land after calling themselves Europeans for centuries. Today, we are told that we are violating property rights when we demand our land from people who called themselves Europeans just 30 years ago. Those who stole our land must face the truth that they acquired land through theft and genocide. Let them explain to us how they can still feel entitled to our land when they've never acknowledged the rivers of blood that were spilled to build their world. Let us never forget that the USA classified our freedom fighters as terrorists. The US did not just support apartheid with words. It armed and funded the regime. During the Cold War, America saw the racist apartheid government as a strategic ally against communism, choosing to back white supremacy over justice. The CIA assisted in the capture of Nelson Mandela in 1962, handing him over to the apartheid regime. It was a pan-African struggle supported by our fellow African nations who understood that the oppression of one African nation was an attack on the entire continent. This nation sacrificed their own security, stability, and resources to assist in the fight for our liberation. America has never helped us with anything, even during apartheid. They cannot threaten us now with sanctions. Everywhere else America goes, you must know they never go to help those people. They go to destabilize those countries. They did the same thing in Libya. They did the same thing in Iraq. They did the same thing in Afghanistan. Now they want to come to South Africa and destabilize it. We must unite against American imperialism and colonialism. We must not be intimidated by Elon Musk and everybody who stands with him. All those who are offered an opportunity to go to America because there is a genocide against them in South Africa, you are free to go. The borders are opened for racists to leave South Africa. We have no home for racists in South Africa. Our friends will never be United Kingdom. Our friends will never be France. Our friends will never be USA. They were never there for us during difficult time. Palestine was there for us during our difficult time. Palestine associated with us during difficult time. It doesn't matter what Trump will do to us. We will die next to the Palestinian people. We will be buried next to the graves of the Palestinians. Our people are being killed in Sudan. Life is being lost. No one is saying anything because it's an African life. We must fight and always continue to raise the plight of the children and women of Sudan. We must no longer allow a situation where blacks kill other black people because they want riches of that country. Africans must unite everywhere and do not find it easy to kill one another during these difficult times.
Call me flip-flopper, call me what you want to call me. I don't decide what people call me. I never decided that my mother should call me Julius. If I had a choice, I would have said to her, don't do that. Why do you give me a colonial name? She chose to give me this name. People choose which name they want to give me. I'm a hero to others and I'm a threat to others. So I don't care how the enemy defines me. I know what I really represent. So President Zuma, we said he must not continue to be a president. And as a result, we won that cause. What more do you want from him? Do you want to wish him dead? Or what else do you seek from President Zuma? So it can't be that when you fight with people, you must fight them to the grave, chase them to the sea. It cannot be correct. When we have a political disagreement, and during that political disagreement, it will become heated and a lot of many other things will be said. Does it mean because we have once exchanged such heated exchange between those you disagreed with at that time, when they come to join, you should not agree for them to join the EFF because you once disagreed with them? It cannot be correct. There are no such politics where you are stagnant. You can't move from what you actually disagreed with an opinion. In 10 years, in 15 years, you had a disagreement of opinion with someone. And then for that, you must define the future. It's incorrect. So if President Zuma comes and joins the EFF, he will be more than welcome. I think very soon I'll be going to see him. I must give him a form to join. The same way I'll give to President Mbeki, the same way I'll give to President Mutlanti. They are good citizens of our country. And I think President Zuma has paid his dues. I mean, I said yesterday, the highest form of punishment you can give to a sitting president is by making sure they don't end their term of office. Have you done that to Zuma? Yes. It's a permanent punishment. They will never finish talking about it. President Mbeki still speaks about it today. That's how painful that thing is. So having applied the highest form of punishment, do you still want to go and kick them even when they are down? That is not Africanism. That is not Ubuntu. I'm not going to be asked by Europeans who don't know how we engage on issues as Africans to behave the same way they behave. I don't behave like that. When a person is down, you don't continue to kick them.
Finally,
that is an act of cowardice. Come here, go to the moon. You must get into this thing and go to the moon together. We are not going to any moon with anyone. We are remaining here. They can go to the moon alone. What if you go to bed one day and then your wife comes to bed with a knife and say it is her right to choose what she wants to sleep with, and then she's going to sleep next to you with a knife? You can't allow that. There's not going to be sleeping that day. No one is going to sleep in that room. And then Barry's got a right to carry a knife and then sleep with a knife next to me. So it can't be, it's not correct. We need to remove the government of Botswana through the people of Botswana and put a government that will dismantle that base, which is putting a threat on the whole of SADC. Because a research was conducted, the landing strip that is there in the army base of Botswana, they say it can land a fighter jet which can take less than 2 minutes if it wants to hit the Union building. So if America says we're fighting South Africa, it doesn't have to send anything from Washington. They are here already. And that's what Putin doesn't want in Ukraine. They want to do what they did here in Botswana, in Ukraine. We allowed it. And our position as the EFF is that army base must be removed because it poses a threat to SADC. I didn't say we're going to bomb Botswana or anything of that sort, but it was threatened by the honesty that we shared with people.
All right.
And people need to know that there is a base here which can flatten South Africa in less than no time if America decides to fight with us. It doesn't have to move anything from Washington. Actually, by the time we assemble, our equipment will be gone.
Honorable Malema, what are you raising on now?
Next time you must bring breathalyzers here, man.
No, man. Honorable.
How can a normal sober person say such?
Honorable Malema, you are out of order, and you must withdraw that. Honorable Malema, withdraw that. Honorable member, you withdraw that. Any member here, what breathalyzer here? Withdraw it, Honorable Malema.
What is unparliamentary about that?
Withdraw your statement, Honorable member.
Which rule are you applying?
I will remind you of something.
Honorable members.
We have used the word breathalyzer in this parliament.
Honorable,
never such a ruling.
Honorable Chivamo, who gave you the right to speak?
On the point
Take your seat. Take your seat. Honorable Malema, I requested you to withdraw imputing what he imputed on the member.
I withdraw because I don't want you to chase me out. I want to vote a criminal out.
Take your seat, Honorable member.
Honorable Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker.
Honorable members. Honorable member. Honorable Minister, please proceed.
Honorable Deputy
Speaker. Point of order, Chair.
Honorable members.
On the point of order, Chair.
Yes, Honorable member.
I'm rising on Rule 84. Honorable Malema has just said that he's going to vote a criminal out. It is unparliamentary. Please,
Honorable Malema, did you say that?
Yes, I did.
Withdraw that, Honorable Member.
I withdraw. I want to vote a crook out.
Honorable Malema, withdraw that. Withdraw that.
I withdraw. I want to vote Lemene out.
Honorable Malema, you withdraw,
that unparliamentary?
You withdraw unconditionally, or you will have to take consequences of your decision.
I withdraw.
Take your seat, Honorable Member.
Unconditional.
Yes.
Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member, what are you raising on?
Honorable Deputy Speaker, the minister earlier did not withdraw unconditionally. She said she draws.
Honorable Member.
There is a difference between drawing and withdrawing.
Remember when Malema said this?
America can never be welcomed here in South Africa, in the African continent, because we know when they come here, they are coming to check what more can we steal and finish off this continent. We were so happy when the Russian foreign minister came. He was at home here. This is home. You should have looked at all the comments everywhere in the social media. Our people were so happy to have a Russian foreign minister here. We are happy that they saw it befitting to respect us and to come to us as a way of saying we respect you and we want to give you some form of an explanation as to what is really happening. We want to make it categorically clear to the President of the USA that we are going to expropriate land without compensation and pursue legislative measures to do so, and no threat will stop us. Say shoot to kill Nyamazan. We are commanding Nyamazan to shoot and kill.
So it is a command to shoot and kill?
Yes.
Let's continue to that.
You also want me to interpret the language you hear?
Yes, just so we can. What are you saying?
Kiss the Boer, kiss the farmer. I thought it's English.
It is.
Yes.
And what does that mean?
It means kiss.
Kiss how? Now you said that the first verse that we did are an instruction to kill. The second lyric is an instruction to kiss on the lips. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, why?
Not. I didn't say the lips. You see, and my Lord is here. I said I didn't say the lips. So it can be on the forehead area with the lips. Yes.
Now, why those two things together?
Which ones?
Why a command to kill and then a command to kiss?
It's a chant. You can put anything. It's a concoction of anything. So there are even other chants where words are not even used. So there's a chant, my Lord, when you want to put a new song, so you're singing and you are introducing a new song, you put a chant just oh, Dio, 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 Mama, Dio. If someone was said to me, interpret that, I can't, because you just put that chant in between to prepare those who are singing with you that you are now bringing a new song. So you throw words as you want.
So it's random.
It's random at that, but at all times the leadership has got a message to deliver with that.
What's that message?
I always see here crocodile tears of white people. Malema wants to kill white people. Hashem. Stop being sensitive. No one is going to kill you. You think we're going to kill you because you killed our people. The killing mentality is in your head. We don't have a killing mentality. We have a mentality of justice and peace. The only thing we are not prepared to do is to prioritize peace over justice. There must be justice first before there is peace. Because peace without justice, we are pretending one day we are going to have an outburst. Please, we don't owe white people an apology. Black people, stop apologizing to white people. They are the ones who are owing us an apology. You have done too much to damage a black nation. We are unemployed because of you. We are dying of diseases because of you. We are illiterate because of you. We have surrendered to drugs because of you. You owe us a lot. You must show remorse and stop behaving like crybabies. The South African democracy is going to be built by a robust debate, particularly when it comes to race relations. We must stop pretending to each other here. The poor means black. The rich means white. For as long as that has not been resolved, there will be a permanent problem between the poor and the rich. You know, my Lord, we're sitting here with pain, with trauma, and to be interrogated by people like this who perpetuate the segregation, who continue to promote racism in this country. It's really unfair. Thousands of children have seen their mothers being tortured. I was young when police walked into my mother's house and she was sleeping. They took off her blankets off. Men, she was not dressed up. She was sleeping. Men took off her blankets. I live with that for the rest of my life. That some strange men came into my house and took off the blankets of my mother to search if she's not a terrorist. We are still a traumatized nation, if you don't know. And that trauma is real. And don't push us to that pain. Because when that day comes, we'll not be scared. I've litigated with AfriForum and Roots before, and they've never brought someone so weak as you. I think they've done the worst disservice to themselves. Let me tell you, every time we say white settlers, white people, white settlers in South Africa, it is in that context. So why would an American who came yesterday... You asked me a question and said, where were you? It was biologically impossible for me to be there. So don't question me. Go and question my mother and my father why I was not there. But when the time came, I showed up. And when the time came, I never sold out. When the time came, I was never a collaborator. I came at an early age and nothing will remove me. Attempts were there to silence me with the story of being disrespectful. I'm not disrespectful. I engage robustly. A ke rapeletse boroko ka budulala. Nna a ke chabe motho, ke chaba maka, ke bolela nnete. Musho wa dinonyana utlowa in less than 2 years. Auwe musho wa dinonyana auwe.